Hello, this is Shannon Costello, Registered Dietitian and Wellbeing Coordinator for CSX. We are back in my home kitchen, ready to make a lentil bolognese pasta sauce. This is a great alternative to the traditional beef bolognese because lentils, right here, this is a plant-based protein. It's a type of legume. So it's packed with protein. It has about 9 to 10 grams of protein per serving, and it's a pantry staple, so non-perishable item, and they're very inexpensive. So it's a great alternative when you need to keep something in your pantry ready to go, and then in times of need, like right now, when your beef and turkey options might be a little more expensive or they're not as readily available, you've already got this recipe on hand ready to go for a tasty lunch or dinner. So other than our lentils, which I had a mixture of both red and black, so that's why you see the two different colors here, but you can also get like green, brown, orange, yellow, change it up a little bit. We're also going to be using a onion, so either white or yellow, a bell pepper. I chose red because it's a little sweeter and it adds like a natural sweetness to the sauce. You can also add grated carrot. I have a family member that's actually allergic to carrot, so I'm omitting that, which is why I chose the sweeter version of my bell pepper. But you can also do green bell pepper for a little more greenness and color into your sauce. We've got some garlic cloves. I love garlic, so I'm doing 3 large cloves, but you can do any amount that prefers to your flavor preference. This is great for boosting immunity, especially during this winter season when we are prone to getting the cold and flu. We have a 28 ounce can of diced tomatoes, and I always try to choose like a low sodium option for that. We've got some red cooking wine, something I just need to get rid of in my fridge. We'll add a little tablespoon of that. My extra virgin olive oil, but you can use any oil that you have on hand. A homemade version of Italian seasoning, so it's about a tablespoon of dried thyme, dried oregano, and dried basil. And then it looks like I have some gluten-free pasta in my pantry tonight. It's a mixture of yellow lentil and brown rice pasta, so getting a little extra lentil in this pasta dish. So let's go ahead and get cooking. First thing you want to do is rinse your lentils because this is a type of bean or legume. So for all your beans and legumes, you want to rinse them just to make sure you get rid of any like excess dirt, and then pick out any like bad ones. You never know what you're going to get in there. So I'm just going to drain these, rinse them, and then we're going to mix it with 3 cups of liquid. And you're going to bring that liquid to a boil. You can either use just plain water or you can use a vegetable or chicken stock to bring a little more flavor into your lentils. Okay, so I've mixed my lentils with just water and a little bit of sea salt. So I'm waiting for this to come to a boil. Once it boils, I'm going to lower it to a simmer and cover it with my lid. And while that cooks for about 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to prep all of my sauce ingredients and get those ready to go. So my lentils are just about done cooking, and I've already heated a large pot up to about medium-high heat, added my olive oil, and once this hot, I'm going to add a piece of onion, make sure that it's sizzling so I know the oil is ready to cook, and in go my onions, bell pepper, and then this is also where you would add your grated carrot. The bell pepper and grated carrot, again, are a really good way to boost flavor without adding extra sugar. A lot of your store-bought marinara and tomato sauces have added sugar in them, so we're adding some sweetness while adding some vitamins and minerals. So I'm going to cook down the pepper and onion for a few minutes, occasionally stirring, making sure they're getting flavored up with the oil. You'll start to notice that they're going to soften and the onions will start to turn translucent. And after this, we will add the garlic and seasoning. Okay, it's been about 3 to 5 minutes, so I'm going to start to make this little well in the middle of my pot. I'm going to add my minced garlic and my dried Italian seasonings. It's always good to add your seasonings with some oil and let them toast a little bit. It helps bring out the natural oils in those dried seasonings. And then you'll only stir this up for about 30 to 60 seconds because minced garlic cooks really fast and we don't want it to burn. So I'm just gonna consistently move it around and make sure I'm flavoring up my onions and my peppers and your carrots. As soon as I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and add my red cooking wine. This is totally optional. Of course, if you have kids, you probably won't want to use this, but I definitely have some to get rid of in the fridge. Whew, look at that steam. Yum. So you're going to continue to stir that until most of the liquid is absorbed. You'll see that it's going to evaporate mostly, and that actually takes the alcohol out of the red wine. This is really just to add a nice flavor to our sauce. Okay, so it's mostly absorbed there. And last but not least, I'm going to add my can of diced tomatoes. If you are a texture person and you prefer tomato sauce, you can also get canned tomato sauce as opposed to diced, so it's a little smoother. I'm gonna stir this up. I still have it on about medium heat. That way I can bring all the ingredients to a low boil and then reduce the heat to low so it will simmer while my pasta cooks. So as soon as I get this all stirred up, I'm gonna add my cooked lentils. We'll transition over here. I went ahead and drained my lentils in the mesh strainer I had used before to rinse them out. They're still very warm, they just finished cooking. So now that I have all my sauce ingredients, I'll add my lentils to the big pot. Oops. And stir that all together. So these lentils are adding a really good texture as well. You'll taste this and feel just like you're eating traditional beef or turkey bolognese sauce. So again, we're gonna bring this up to a very low boil and then reduce the heat to about medium low and cover it while we cook your pasta to directions. And that can take just a few minutes. It'll bring the water to a boil, and then depending on how many servings you have, it might take 10 to 15 minutes to cook the actual pasta. It's looking really good and it smells delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this simmer, do my pasta, and let you guys get on to your own cooking. Hope you enjoy.